Well, it's time for Jane's next feed, which means she looks like this, which is not a whole lot of change. That's okay. She's bubbly. That's a good sign. And I bought Jane a new warming box. Somebody tagged me in this thing. It's like it looks like a fridge for your counter, and it warms your sourdough. Well, it was $250. I said, absolutely not. There has to be a cheaper solution. I found one for like $30 on Amazon. So that's coming soon to my home. I don't know. I'm convinced that sourdough does this whole false rise thing on like the second day so that you get a false sense of security, you don't give up, and then you are constantly chasing that high for the rest of the time. That's the only possible explanation here. I'm also unsure if I'm meant to feed her honey often or just one time. I don't know. It didn't seem to do anything. Keep the screaming to a minimum. Good enough. She's like this, which is apparently the appropriate consistency. But who the hell knows?
Are you making bread today?
Not today. Maybe never. I don't know. Off to the side. We'll be back for Jane another time. I'll scooch her band down so it's more accurate, just in case she does decide to grow a little bit. Several fucking hours have elapsed, and Jane, she's still here. She's filled with hooch. Something's happening. And she has many bubbles. Not filled with hooch, but she's got some hooch. Things are happening. I have my bread flour. I have this. We're going to heat up some water. We're going to stir her first. I desperately have to do dishes. It doesn't look that bad, but it is that bad. I'm going to stir her. Hooch means she's hungry. So, she ain't growing. But she's doing something. Oh, she kind of smells like sourdough. She smells a little sour. That was my really bad accent. Alright, let's dump half of her out. Everybody's telling me, use way less, Jane, use way less feeding, use way less everything. Like, shrink your ratios. I don't know how. I have failed math many times in my life. Math is not something I'm good at. So ratios, can't do it. But apparently we're going to learn today because I accidentally just dumped out nearly all of Jane. Love that for me. She kind of stuck together. So I literally have a tiny amount. So I think I'm going to do half a cup and half a cup. We're figuring out ratios real fucking quick now. If I could only get my shit together for 5 fucking minutes. Half a cup of flour. Right into Jane. She was getting too big for her britches anyways. Sister said, my sourdough sister, who is feeding Jane's baby sporadically because she, like me, has ADHD, and keeping up on things like sourdough is difficult when your brain barely functions. I'm not speaking for everyone with ADHD when I say their brain barely functions. I'm speaking for me and my sister. Our brains are non-functional most of the time. I don't know how I've gotten this far. Jane is a thick girl, as is her mother. And I love that for her. I never claimed to be anything. I never claimed to be an expert on literally anything. I never claimed to be good at literally anything. The only thing I'm good at, apparently, is getting people really invested in this jar of dough on my countertop. And I'm not entirely sure why anyone cares because Jane's stressing me out. Well, we've gotten rid of a lot of Jane tonight. Ooh, I almost just dropped her off the counter. Everyone's saying, don't use her bonnet, use a real lid. So we're going to keep Jane in the original jar that I love so much because I like it and it's cute and it's pretty and that didn't make it into the sink. Follow along for more fucking Jane. Nope, follow along for more Jane. We won't be fucking Jane. She's just a baby.